This is something bigger than golf.
Man, how about that?
The stage is set.
Wow! My goodness!
An arena for the world's best, where everything is put on the line. For team, for country, for the cup.
Hi there, I'm Ian Warburton, aka Stadium Rocker. Hope you're all well. This is my first podcast on behalf of TMT, the Money Tour. About a week or so ago, I think I rightly or wrongly stuck my hand up to Andrew Willis and said that I'd do a podcast to bring people up to speed with what's going on currently in the world of the Money Tour, current events, future events, things that are going on behind the scenes, what's going on in the game in general. There's a new update was released last week. We can talk about that shortly, and really throw this kind of wide open to members. What do you want to talk about? Are there any really good courses that have been designed that we should know about, that we should be playing? And yeah, give me some ideas. What do you want to talk about? I'd like to get some players perhaps on at some point. Maybe do some interviews, get some tips from some of the top players in the game. What does their bag look like? What's their style of play? How many hours a week do they spend? What's their warm-up routine like? All that sort of stuff. I'm sure we'll get onto in time. First things first, just in terms of what's going on in the Money Tour right now, let's go back a week. And the regular season event last week was the King Island Shootout. That took place at Ocean Dunes, Lidar, and it was won by a Canadian called Laffy 1771 with a score of 45 under. So congratulations, Laffy 1771. I quite enjoyed that course actually. It was maybe a little bit straightforward in parts. There was quite a bit of wind about, which I think on the course, on the holes that where there was a bit of elevation, wind behind you, you could really let rip off the tee and be aggressive into pins, and I think that probably reflected in the scoring. I finished tied for 14th on 35 under, which I was pretty pleased with. One round that really I really noticed was at the end of the first round, the guy that was leading the tournament, Matthew Titots from Canada, shot an opening round 53, 19 under par 53. I mean, how do you do that? Wow. Maybe I should have ghosted you for some tips. Tremendous round, Matthew. Well done. You finished tied for second, 2 shots behind Laffy 1771. So that was an incredible effort. It's something I noticed actually when I completed my first round. You were way ahead at the top. This week is the Rob Classic. Takes place at Loch Lomond Golf Club. I've not started my round yet. I need to do so. I think it's another day or so to run for that particular event. Also, what's going on at the end of this month is the Presidents Cup, and I know Andrew has put some information on the Facebook page to do with that. I think there's a start date or muted start date of the 31st of March. There's qualification going on, if you don't already know, for that particular event. If you didn't take part in last week's event, which I'll talk about in a minute, you can still get involved. The first thing you need to do, though, is understand that the qualification does not take place on the main Money Tour page. You need to search for a new society. So you need to join effectively a new society, and you need to search for TMT Presidents Cup Quals. Join that, and there's an event taking place this week. It's very aptly named the Last Chance Qualifier. It's at Cypress Point Club. I think there's about 3 or 4 days left of qualifying for that. So if you didn't play last week, don't worry about it. Join the society and play your rounds. I think there's 2 rounds. I think it was 2 last week. I'm sure there'll be 2 this week. And see how you get on. Last week, week 1 was held at Peninsula Kingswood Tour. And that was won by Albi91 from Italy with a very impressive 33 under. So congratulations, Albi91. I'm sure you put your name very much in the frame for selection there. I know Andrew is the brains behind it. He's going to be the one that selects the teams. I think he's got some ideas around how he's going to do that. It's not necessarily, I get the impression, I think from memory on the Facebook page, I think it's going to be 30 players, I think, for each team. Is that right? From memory. And he's going to pick it, and it's not all about the top players. I think he's looking to get a variety of different skill sets in there. So jump on that and play. I noticed there's a lot of US players took part last week, and I'm sure we'll do this week. Be really interesting to see who gets selected. There's some really strong players from the US there. So there's, as I say, the current event going on. I think it's a day or so left there on the society page, Loch Lomond Golf Club. But jump on the other society the Presidents Cup qualification at TMT Presidents Cup quals. You've got a few days left to put your name in the hat if you want to be part of the Presidents Cup event at the end of the month. I did play in the Presidents Cup last year. I played a couple of Ryder Cups. A lot of fun. Well worth getting involved and seeing what happens there. I noticed there's a new update in the game as well. It seems to be an awful lot of new equipment you can buy, or new gear you can try to look great in when you play the game, if that's your kind of thing. It's not really my bag, to be honest, but quite a large update featuring that. And I know also it looks to me like you can play Bay Hill, which obviously was featured in, dare I say it, the real life version of this game last week. So I've not played that course yet, but it looks like they've included that as well, and a whole host of other stuff. So that was quite interesting. That came along last week. I mentioned right at the start about kind of throwing this wide open to suggestions from people, what they would like me to talk about. I mentioned course design and that kind of stuff. I know there's some very, very talented designers that spend a lot of time, arguably more time designing than actually playing, and produce some fabulous courses. Let's talk about it. Maybe I can jump on and get a game with you. We can share it. That kind of thing. What's new in the game that we should all be talking about or hearing about, and that kind of thing. So I'm going to wrap up now for this week. Might do this weekly. Might do it monthly. Not quite sure yet. Depends on the format, what people think, what people want to talk about. As I say, I'll try and incorporate bits and pieces, stuff that's interesting, rather than just necessarily going through the results of the previous week, which obviously everybody can access on the page anyway. But looking to get this interactive, a bit of fun, and see what happens. What have I been listening to this week? I think what's caught my ear this week has been the album Holy Ground by the Dead Daisies with Glenn Hughes on vocals. Well worth checking out. That's me for this week. Take care. Have a great time on and off the course. See you soon.